Hello and welcome. I'm Tauni, and today's class is going to be a slower paced Hatha Yoga practice where we're going to focus on bringing more flexibility and balance into our bodies. We're going to begin down on our backs with knees bent. Take the feet a little wider than the hips and then allow the knees to collapse in to support one another. Gently close your eyes. Placing the hands maybe on the belly or up to your heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale out completely. Again, deep breath in and out. Continuing the pattern of deep breaths. Begin to arrive on your mat mentally. Just choosing to stay here in this present moment. Not reflecting on the past or worrying about a future you cannot control. It's just practice staying right here, present on our mats, mindful of our body and our breath. Opening the eyes, extend the left leg out to the mat and flex the foot. And bring the right knee in towards the chest and then slightly out to the side, like you're trying to pull the knee down close to the pit of the arm. Continue to lengthen through that left leg. Begin to extend the right leg up, placing the hands maybe behind the thigh. Again, flexing the foot and begin to introduce a small stretch here in your hamstring. It's okay if you need to keep that knee slightly bent. Just want you to start to feel some lengthening down the back of the leg. Begin to walk the hands up maybe to the calf and lift the shoulders up off the mat. And then begin to hover the left leg. So your ab muscles are pulled in, muscles are contracting. Take that breath in, and then as you exhale, lower to the mat and drop that right leg out to the right side, guided by the right hand. You can take the left hand to the hip, try to keep it down onto the mat and the shoulders down. Now, just like a rainbow, we're going to lift the leg up, keeping it extended. Place it into the left hand and drop across the body for a straight leg twist. Again, if slight bend in the knee is fine. And then try to keep that right shoulder down onto the mat. So this is great for the outer hip and all down that IT band that connects behind the knee. Coming back onto your back, bend the right knee, half happy baby. So peace fingers around the big toe, thumb on top. Guide that knee down towards your mat with the ankle stacked on top of the knee. And begin to straighten the right leg out to the mat, flexing the foot so the toes are up. Left knee pulls into the chest and then slightly down to the side. Straightening the left leg, grabbing behind the thigh. Foot flexed. And again, take your time here. We're just finding length through the hamstring and down the back of the leg. Now we're going to start to contract the muscles as you walk the hands up. Lift the shoulders and then hover the right leg off the mat. Squeeze the belly muscles down into your spine. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, drop the leg out to the left. Shoulders relax down onto the mat. Begin to lift the leg up, placing it into the right hand as you move into your spine twist. Leg as straight as you can get it. Moving into half happy baby. Left knee bends, peace fingers around the left toe, thumb on top, and gently guide that knee down closer to your mat. Bringing both knees into the chest. Hands to the shins, start to rock side to side. Now begin to rock forward and back. And come up all the way up and meet me in a child's pose. So taking the knees wide, feet are connected. Extend your arms forward as you lower your chest and head closer to the mat. Begin to walk your hands over to the right side. Keep lengthening, feeling a nice stretch down that left side body. And walking those hands over to the left. Lengthening through the right side, fingers slightly spread. Bringing both arms forward, take a deep breath in, lengthen, exhale it out. Rising up into a tabletop, hips over the knees and the tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Inhale and open your chest as you lift the tailbone, drop the belly down for cow pose. And exhale, do the opposite direction for cat. 2 more times, just moving that spine. And round. Last one, cow pose. And round up for cat. Coming down onto your mat into Sphinx pose. So taking the forearms down, your shoulders over the elbows. Pressing the forearms down into the mat, and then use your mat as resistance to try to pull the elbows closer to the body. Eyes forward, and your shoulders are down away from your ears. Lower the chest. Press up. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So down dog, the tailbone is lifting up. Hands shoulder distance apart, feet hip distance. Relaxing your heels down towards the mat. They may never touch, don't worry about that. And the head is between the biceps. Begin to turn your gaze forward to your hands as you step the feet forward. So you can deeply bend the knees here, place the belly on the thighs, let the top of the head drop for the floor, coming into a forward fold. So you can straighten the legs here as much as you can or need to find length all down the back of the legs, the glutes. Lengthen your spine, flatten your back, gaze forward, and then come back into a forward fold. As you inhale, rise up, press through the feet, arms come up over the head, and then bring your hands to prayer at your hearts. We're going to keep the right foot where it is, step the left foot back. We're setting up for pyramid pose. Back foot about 45 degrees. Shoulders apart, or maybe you want to widen it out a little bit. Hands right here at the waist. Begin to hip hinge forward over that forward leg for pyramid pose. So hands to either side of the foot. This is a great place perhaps for a block if you need one. Working towards keeping the hips level. Using your core strength, rise all the way up, reach the arms up. We're going to step that left foot back and open up into Warrior Two. So be sure heel is down, front knee over ankle. So we're going to add a little stretch here for our upper body with this as well. So take the right arm underneath the left, cross them, weave them together, either the back of the hands or the palms, and then lift your elbows. And then turn the gaze over that right shoulder. Release from the pose, straighten the legs, turn your toes forward, reach up, And then we're going to take our arms behind us. You're going to grab onto the opposite elbow this first time as your option. Shoulders down your back, moving into a standing straddle. So hip hinge forward. Let the top of the head reach down for that mat. And obviously, if you feel more comfortable with the support of your hands on the mat, you are welcome to do that. Bring the hands to the waist, core strength, rise up. We're going to turn the left toes to the back of the mat, moving into triangle pose. So back right foot parallel to the back edge of your mat, lengthen your arms, lean over into triangle pose, Trikonasana. And again, this is a great place for a block. Be mindful that you're not reaching forward down to the floor and your butt goes behind you. You want to keep everything in line over that forward leg. Begin to lift up, face the back of your mat, step that right foot forward to the left. Tree pose, balancing. Rotate the right knee out. Hands can be to your heart or wherever you need them. And the same with the right leg. Take it wherever you wish it to be. Find balance. Tree pose. Coming out of the pose, repeating the sequence with the left foot forward, so the right foot steps back, hands to the waist, set it up for pyramid, square off forward, and then begin to hip hinge forward over that forward leg, hands to a block, to the mat, or even up to your shin. Begin to lift up, reach the arms up over the head, lengthen through the upper body, and then step back for warrior two. Taking the left arm underneath this time, thread the arms into eagle arms, and then turn your gaze over that left shoulder. Rise up. This time, for our straddle, I'm going to bind my hands behind the back. You could use a towel, or maybe you choose to just grab onto those elbows again. So again, shoulders down the back, lift the chest, and then hip hinge over for standing straddle with your bind. Bringing the hands to your waist, stand up tall, right toes turn forward, triangle pose. Lifting up, face the front, back foot steps forward. Find tree pose. Balancing on the right leg. Find all four corners of that standing foot and then lift up out of it. Eyes forward. Mountain pose. Sitting back into chair, bend both knees, extend your arms forward. Then bring your hands to your heart center. We're going to move to a seated position on the mat, so use your hands if you need to. Bring it on down. Butterfly pose. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, drop the knees wide. Again, so you ground down through the sits bones, lift up, and then with the back straight, see if you can come forward any amount as the knees continue to drop down. You can always experiment here with how close or far the feet are from you. Never doing the exact same pose twice. Good. Lifting up, extend the legs out in front of you. We're going to do a seated fold. Again, sits bones down into the mat, hips back, feet flexed, lengthen, sit it up tall, and then hinge forward into your fold. And begin to roll it down, nice and slow. And knees to chest, rock side to side. Placing the feet down onto the mat, knees right over your ankles, arms to your sides. Lift your hips up for bridge pose. Open the shoulders and chest by walking the shoulder blades together and down your back. Maybe binding the hands, that is an option, or take them up to your waist. Dropping the hips. Cross the right ankle above the left knee. Reach through, grab onto that left thigh and pull it closer towards you. Or maybe some of you move the hands up to the shin. Switching sides, crossing left over right. Reach through, grab behind that right thigh. It's a beautiful stretch here for your hips. Releasing, we're going to do full happy baby. We did half at the beginning, this time the full pose. Ankles over knees, back connected to the mat all the way down to the tailbone if you can. Breathe deeply. Moving into waterfall pose for an inversion today. So legs are just up over the hips, arms at your sides. So this is a great pose for circulation in your legs. It's also a restful pose. At night, I'll recommend people to go over to a wall and do legs up the wall pose. Bending the knees back towards the chest. Then one at a time, extending the legs out. We're going to spend a few moments in Shavasana and completely relaxed. Arms at your sides with the palms up. Go ahead and release your legs. Let the feet drop away from each other. Again, gently close the eyes. Just let a normal breath pattern return. And thoughts may come and go. Acknowledge them and let them go. Choose to stay here in this present moment. And to awaken with small movements to the hands and feet. And then reach the arms over your head, full body stretch. So extend through the toes and through the fingertips. Then bend the knees, bringing them in and roll to your right side. And helping yourself up to have a seat. You did beautifully. I hope you feel more openness in your body. I know I do. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Let's end with hands, prayer at our hearts. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you again so much for joining me for this practice. If you loved it, please let me know in the comments or share it with someone else who you think might enjoy the class. Thanks again and have a blessed day.